everybody wants to get united. Like, what we gotta do is meet everybody on 149th Street at the bench.
Anti-style is the best form of graffiti. It's better than even normal graffiti. That's gonna be what that's gonna be what we talk about in today's video. And that's just one of the many hot takes in the video. So I asked you guys for your guys' graffiti hot takes over on Instagram and the community page over on YouTube, and you guys swarmed me with a bunch of hot takes I wasn't expecting. MC says, most of the time, painting over a piece or a tag is not disrespectful. What? I don't agree with that in the slightest. Alright, there are some times where, like, maybe your tag clips on somebody else's, maybe your piece kind of dabbles into the space of another guy's piece. Alright, I could see that, right? Personally, I'd let that slide. I'm not gonna go ahead and, you know, go crazy over something like that. But no, I feel like if you directly take up a significant portion of somebody else's area, then that definitely is disrespectful. Like, well, what are you doing? What are you doing? Why would you do that? That's 100% disrespectful. I disagree with that hot take 100%. Now, before we continue in today's video, I want to let you guys know I just released our brand new book that covers all the fundamentals in graffiti. It teaches you everything you have to know in order to get started in this art form. And when I'm telling you this is a deep dive into the science of graffiti, I really mean it. We're talking about topics that have never been covered anywhere in any website or blog or video online currently. After we cover all the fundamentals in the book, we even go over how to craft your own style and how to evolve your style if you're more experienced in graffiti. So if you want to pick up the book, right now we have digital copies available in the description down below. You can go ahead and grab that down there. And because I kind of missed Black Friday sales because I was trying to grind this book out, let's do a nice sale using this coupon code on screen right now at checkout in order to get yourself a little Black Friday discount. Or Cyber Monday? I don't know at this point. I'm a little late on the party. Now, Rainey here's got a good one. He actually leaves two behind, but I want to focus on the second, where he says, also, arrows and adding extra style isn't corny. This is graffiti, not a cell phone design. It's not supposed to be minimalistic. And he's not wrong. I mean, I 100% agree. You know, you got that stereotype of like, oh, if you add, you know, arrows to your tag, it's whack. And while yes, a lot of toys add arrows to their tag and it looks whack, it doesn't look whack because they added an arrow. It looks whack because they are toy. That's why it looks whack. If you're good at graffiti and you know what you're doing, you can make that work. But you have to know what you're doing first. Because let's be real, toys make everything look whack. And if you're a toy, don't take offense to that. I mean, we all start there, right? We gotta progress somehow, some way. But this is just the reality of the situation. That'd be the same thing as you know, a comic book artist saying, oh, putting clothes on your comic book characters is whack, and that becoming a stereotype just because new comic book artists don't know how to draw cloth. That'd be ridiculous. So I actually agree with that one. Here's a good hot take from Neat. He says, if you don't rack your paint, then you shouldn't be hitting in the streets. Then somebody responds saying, I'll pick my battles. I'm not gonna be a vandal and a thief, which in all honesty, that's something that Demmer used to go ahead and say to me. He said, if you're gonna commit a crime, at least commit one at a time. And of course, Demmer would say it jokingly, but the premise stays the same. Also, all the old heads that hold on to this belief get paint for free. It's easier to tell riders to rack your paint when you're getting sponsored at 22. Wait, what? 22-year-olds aren't old? What are you talking about? How young are you, man? Come on. Don't do me like that. Maybe I misunderstood what he said there, but anyway, I kind of agree. Like, you don't have to rack your paint in order to hit the streets. While certainly that used to be a thing, it was a thing out of necessity. This is where we get into the next part of it, where he says a lot of these old heads hold on to this belief because they get paint for free, and then Neat comes back and says, you like paying money to commit crimes? No matter what way you put it, if you're a vandal, you're a piece of, I'm not gonna say it because YouTube monetization is a little bit strict nowadays. Don't try to pull the I'm a good citizen card. And I'll be honest, man, I look at the situation and I feel a little bit weird about it because I know plenty of writers from, you know, the early 70s in New York that still rack their paint today, and they're not famous, they don't get sponsorships, nothing. They just still rack their paint. On the other hand, I know writers who I'm not gonna mention that are sponsored and also still rack their paint. I feel like this topic is more about kind of minimizing how much trouble you're getting yourself into. That's what I feel like this whole thing is about. You know, once again, trying to pick your battles. So I'm gonna disagree with this one. Here's one I 100% disagree with. I could not disagree with this anymore. Anti-style is better than regular graffiti. Wrong. Factually incorrect. That's not even an opinion. Incorrect. 100%. We have a bunch of people in here talking about how good anti-style is. That is factually wrong. Let me explain something, right? I made a video about this. I'm gonna do a brief little summary right here, but check this out. Anti-style isn't a real art form. It doesn't exist. Not at all. Not by people who do anti-style. Their own definition of it doesn't exist. I made a video, I heard from thousands of them, and none of them were correct. None of them could establish a fundamental set at all. None of them even got close. None of them even understood what that word meant, but you got three different kinds of anti-style you could do. So on one hand, you have anti-styles that are so abstracted that it's just abstract art. It's not even graffiti. Not at all. Factually. It's just a different abstract art. Going back to a different hot take where the person doesn't know enough about other art forms and other fundamentals in order to realize that they're partaking in a whole different art form, so they mislabel what they're doing as anti-style. Then you have the anti-styles that are kind of abstracted enough to where they've lost too much letter structure, but it's more impressionistic, which once again, they're still doing a different art form, which isn't anti-style, but because they don't know the fundamentals enough, they don't understand that they're doing a different art form, and they miscategorize it as anti-style. And then you have the anti-styles which don't abstract enough, and as a result, their fundamental set is just graffiti's fundamental set, but poorly done, and as a result, they're just doing badly done graffiti. And because they don't understand the fundamentals enough, they don't understand that they're just bad at graffiti. Those are the three different anti-style. So no, two of the three aren't even graffiti, and the third is just badly done graffiti, which means it is factually impossible to do good anti-style because, well, I just explained why. But dudes, we're gonna wrap this up here, and we gotta do another one of these, man. Your guys' hot takes are off the wall. But man, if you guys want to leave more hot takes in the comments down below, feel free to go ahead and do that. And if you want to learn more about graffiti so you don't end up doing anti-style, check out the books I published in the description. And check out the best How to Do Graffiti playlist right over here. And I'll catch you guys back here next week. Thank you for watching.